there, YouTubers! Today I would like to show you how to build an electronics workbench that is really convenient for working on electronic projects. What I have right here is just a simple table. It is a 60 by 120 centimeter table, which in my opinion actually is a little bit on the small side. This is just a very cheap IKEA table. You get the tabletop, you get the legs to go along with it. Nothing special about this one. Now you may say, well, this is enough. I can put my projects on here and I can put test equipment on here and I'm ready to go. So why do I need a dedicated electronics workbench? Well, it's actually fairly simple. If you get more and more into the hobby of electronics, you'll be getting more and more test equipment. Assuming that you're not super rich, your first oscilloscope is probably going to be a good old analog unit, such as this thing right here. Now, you can probably see what I'm getting at. This scope is really quite big and it takes up really a lot of space on the workbench, so you will not have a whole lot of space left to actually work. So the idea is to take the test equipment and bring it up, put it into about this kind of a height so that it's there, you can easily reach it, you can always see it. However, it does not block any space on the workbench. So we need a second table to go on top of the first table. Here I have a tabletop that I want to use. This is actually a piece of an old cupboard, so it doesn't look very pretty, but it's going to do. This has a length of about 1 meter, which is kind of unfortunate. Of course, it would look a lot more neat if it was the same length as the table. So it's, yeah, I'll just have to try to center it. The width of the piece of wood is about 45 centimeters. I would not go below 40 centimeters because, as we've just seen, the scope still has to fit on top of this. So this is the tabletop. This is going to mount like this, and for that we're going to need some table legs. And here are the table legs that I got for the project. It's the same basic idea as with these IKEA table legs on this base table, in case you happen to be familiar with the system. You have a metal tube and you have some mounting hardware, a little piece of plastic and a screw. Screw comes through the piece of plastic. You screw this to the table and then you screw the leg onto there. That's how it works, really quite easy. Now, as for the legs, these I would suggest a length of something between 40 and 50 centimeters. You don't want the test equipment to sit too high up, because then you'll just have to lean back to see what the test equipment is displaying. That's bad. You don't want the test equipment to sit too low, because then it's still going to block the workspace. So what I have right here is a length of 40 centimeters. And I'm going to mount these. Now on this tabletop, I have used this as a tabletop previously, so I already have some screw holes that I can use to orientate the legs. Obviously, you do want to mount them nice and neat and equally spaced, and so on and so forth. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to start with just a screwdriver to get the holes started, and then I'm going to switch to the drill to finish it. So here we go. And that's the mounting hardware in place. So I can now simply take these legs, make sure which side goes up, and screw them on. And that's interesting. I don't want to damage this because these inserts are made from plastic. Oh, there we go. And that is the second table finished. So I can now flip this around, put it up on top, and well, you can see how this is supposed to work out. So I can now take the oscilloscope, put it up on top, and you can see we got the oscilloscope on the workbench, but we have not lost any of the space down below. So there is still plenty of space for working on the electronics projects. Now, you might notice it's relatively dark down in here now, so let's fix that. First, I'm going to find the center of the tabletop. So we got, okay, that's about here and here. And then in this direction, that is about that's here. And now I want to offset that. Okay, so we're going to have one screw there. And another screw here. And what are we going to screw into those places? Well, I found one of these. This is an LED-based under-cabinet light for the kitchen. And it's really quite a simple little thing. And the big advantage of this is that it has a built-in power switch, so no problems with that, and it plugs straight into the mains, so no problems with power supply and so on and so forth. Mounting hardware comes in here, and I don't even need to find a different screwdriver. So, it works with these little brackets. Which I will mount right here. Actually, I want to get a different screwdriver for this. This one should be much better. Don't screw this on too tight. You don't want the thing to get bent. If it does get bent, the light is not going to fit anymore. And with the two clips in place, I can now clip in this under cabinet light. Make sure that the power switch faces to the front. It's not going to be very convenient on the back. Okay. This requires a bit of force. Okay. Try to get it centered a bit. And there we go. That's the light in place. Power cord. Let's just quickly make sure that this does work. It does have a rather strange looking proprietary power connector, which, well, doesn't fit into there. But it does fit into here. Oh boy. That sure isn't a perfect fit. But it ought to work, so let me plug this in. And we got light. We got plenty of light. And we can turn it off. And here it is, the finished Electronics Workbench with a dedicated place for test equipment, with a handy-dandy bright work light. This workbench is easy to build and easy to take apart and move. So, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching.